Hello YouTube, Infinite Magicraid community, Gandalf here. I was just about to say that we are on stage 19 and we're literally indestructible because of Nikilith, the unique passive there. It essentially is giving you 3 lives. Now, it was very unfortunate that Sora just literally died when I started re-recording this video, but we also killed the boss 7 times. Like, any hit in theory should have just one-shot us, because how fast our Nikilith was and how slow the boss is, relatively speaking, we somehow miraculously still are staying alive. Now, it's just RNG. I've done several runs now. That was my 4th run, and you can see that, I survived most of them, but I am no idea like how Papa Dog is built. That is some ridiculous damage. I wonder how strong that Marie is. If you're watching my video, give me a shout out. I'll quickly show my Marie stats here just for a frame of reference. Probably, could do with 2 more echoes. Blessing wise, 2S over there on the aura front. I'm using a 5-star boss layer, so that should have been really good for boss damage, I would have thought. But I guess for equipment, it's not optimal, I guess. Maybe he has the newer set, but I figure I was decent on direct damage. Maybe the damage was coming from Jocelyn, and my Jocelyn is kind of mediocre. It's kind of meh, stat-wise, but other than that, I have no idea how that even happened. Maybe his eyes is way faster than mine, but that still, raises a big question mark. Ainz doesn't have that much personal damage, I don't think. All right, so enough about wondering why he managed to do another 20 bill more than me. Let's talk about Nikilith. We'll talk a little bit about the existing banner right now as well, because I know a lot of players are wondering, do I summon for Beatrix or not? Beatrix, it is the last day. I'm sorry, the last couple of days, as you know, it's the Easter weekend. Spent a lot of time with family and kids, so didn't have a chance to get the video out. I did summon one, and I got Bethany, and then I was partway through recording that video when the kids came in, and I had to kind of just forget about that and restart the video recording. For those of you who have pulled, you have pulled. Those of you who are contemplating whether you shouldn't pull or not, I don't think this video should sway you. Beatrix is still really strong. The next one coming up on the rerun will be Airtel. And I'll say, if you don't, and I see Airtel probably not getting power crept by a brand new HP burn hero, because in general, like, I don't see them doing this too much. Like, power creeping happens all front, right? Like when we look at the role of Nikilith, it's really combining 2 roles together. It's giving you a massive amount of survivability, but at exclusive 3, this reappearance buff allowing you to double cast. It's almost kind of like, Esther, when you kill an enemy, you get like a double cast of the turns for rep buff for your entire team. So in a way, it does that. The other part is a huge amount of survivability. We also get a lot of survivability introduced into the game. Like, Marie was kind of the first attempt to to block all type of damage to one particular type. I don't know. Like, power creep, I mean, this is kind of, just the beginning of the video where you saw there, being able to survive through any sort of BS with Nikilith's unique passive around these holy shelters, essentially giving you 3 lives every time when she goes into resonance status, and she's never CC'd in battle once you hit exclusive 2 in PvP. So that just is huge, as long as she's built really quickly. And for those of you who didn't catch the last video, I kind of talked about 120 tenacity is kind of the minimal you should go for. The rest of it going to speed, and then whatever you can get into HP, get into HP. This is probably one of the times where it'd be really nice to have a firm win set. Now, don't worry, you can technically still run full set of say feather set or speed set, and get all it from your echo and aura. Because when you look at your blessings, here you can see I'm not using that great of tenacity, but you know, for my best tenacity sets, let's see, tenacity, like if you got A's, you can easily get like 40 from there. You can get 40 from there. On the echo, you can get at least, I think, another 30, so you're already at 70. When we look at our emblems, we got, I think, 15 over here. So that should put you, you know, really close. Let's see how much do we get from our sanctuary. Tenacity, you get 50 tenacity in your sanctuary as well. So yes, I know I have a max sanctuary. Like, that's besides the point. So if you're like a whale, you know, getting to 120 is really easy. If you're not a whale, well, you probably will want to use some of the new set where it gets giving you tenacity. Like I would even consider building it like I think a lot of people at least have one firm set. So just find one other piece and use it, and it'll give you at least the speed and tenacity that you want. Giving her more HP definitely helps. So, you know, I think people have a lot more access to tough sets now. So tenacity is here. You really don't need to go for specifically the tenacity set with speed. Just go for the tough set. Effective res isn't really required, but at least the HP is nice. So that kind of covers that piece. Now, people who are wondering like about Beatrix, and shortly, we will kind of do a comparison, sort of like Beatrix is also one of those heroes that are really hard to build, especially if you're free to play. Where's my Beatrix? That's odd. Where is she? Do I have like a filter on, or am I just blind right now? Okay, sorry. I was blind. So beyond my blindness, let's talk about, you know, her kit. At exclusive 3, you're basically looking at 45% skill damage, right? Skill damage, yeah. 45% skill damage, but you need 250 effective hit at the beginning of the battle. This is not exactly an easy thing to reach, and you want her on high speed as well. So this is a hero where you need a ton of speed and 250 effective hit. Now I'm definitely over. I was actually thinking about putting her on like a full set of arena dominance, but of course, you know, the speed meta also changed a whole bunch. I will cover the meta in PvP in upcoming videos later this month or early next month, whenever I get around to it, because the meta keeps on changing. Power creep is, you know, still going strong, so that gives me a lot of content to talk about. But if you happen to use a Grandmaster Aura, this 27% does apply. So that 27% means you only need 223 here, which makes it a lot easier. Also, they have changed the emblem. So here you got 4.5, you got another 6 that counts towards that. So that's another 9 over here. Sorry, they changed it. So there's no, you get it right away. So you have 8. So you have 8. That kind of really lowers the requirement. So, you know, if you're starting out, getting to maybe 200 will be a lot easier. Again, just showing you guys the sanctuary here. Effective hit, I get 54 from it. So if you can get to 200, and if you're starting out, you know, you can slowly work your way up to 250. Now, Beatrix is also going to increase your sorry, where is it? Over here. You will get, you know, 25%, you get, sorry, 35% piercing, 35% effective hit. You also get 30% dot damage and direct damage. But then at E3, you get 1.5 times of that effect to the original. So basically you're getting now 45% direct damage and dot damage. So on your entire team, that basically means you're doubling your damage output. So let's go take a look over here. And this is kind of, it was a little bit surprising, right? Like here you can see on my battle battle test, this is still the most effective team, at least for me. Like, I am doing, I think, close to 300. Yeah. Let's run that a couple of times with Beatrix, right? With Beatrix, I'm running close to, 280. Now, if we replace Beatrix with Nikilith, I'm actually not doing that much more damage. I'm actually doing less, surprisingly. Because here, I lost my double multiplier, right? Like, instead of, yes, now I'm getting double hits on my Marie. Every hit counts twice, which essentially is sort of like doing double damage. But Beatrix also is actually just making my entire team do double the damage, right? And that's actually across the board. It's actually more efficient to just straight up double my damage, right? So here you can see, like, this time it's not even with presets now there. And you can see, like, oh, that was a little bit less. But the damage is about the same, right? And, the number of turns I'm going all the way to all of the turns. So that kind of, speaks to Beatrix in terms of her ability to boost damage. Is still very notable from that perspective. So for those of you who have summoned her, yes, definitely it's worth it to get her to E3. If you have Nikilith, what if you use them both together, right? You're like, oh, what if you use both of them together? Is it the bunny that's kind of weak now? Well, actually, bunny isn't weak either, because if you look at bunny, you're getting a ton of. Oh, by the way, before I forget, Beatrix has more to her kit than because of, I forgot to talk about the echo. The echo here is you're getting 7% in battle attack, right? And these energizing notes from blocker, you get 40 layers of more attack increase, right? So from her echo alone, there's way more damage boosting. However, Nikilith, if you look at her echo is focusing more on damage reduction. So you're reducing the incoming damage. So that's the key difference between the two. Is Nikilith doesn't do as much of a boosting. And same way with Esther is, even though, you look at the core kit, it's what, 80% direct damage boost. But if you look at this, I'm adding, I can get one more. So I'm getting like 40% crit damage up to 3 layers. Every time I'm, cycling. On top of that, I'm also increasing additional turn meter every time. So that's like 12% plus the boost based 25% as well. And you can get Esther. So what's really nice is what you notice is when it comes to support limited heroes, they are really hard to power creep, right? They tend to always find a way to come back into content. So, even in PvP, right? Right now you can see there's a mix of team. I can't beat Wrath. Like, I try so many different ways. I can't beat Gower either. But looking at a lot of players who did manage to get Nikilith, right? Oh man, why do I have to see such scary people up here? Like, there are different ways to mix and mash the heroes, and there's different advantages and disadvantages to them. So for example, I am Wolf. If I'm actually fighting him with a lineup like this, I'm gonna have a real hard time beating him. But if I actually use more of a burst setup, like you can see, I actually got 3 different setups going on here, and depending on who I'm faced up against, one type is actually going to be a little bit more favorable. So now we got a mix of different limited heroes in here to help. So if you have the resources, definitely go pick up some of the older limited heroes, because they're still relevant and they're really useful. Hopefully, the comparison helps a little bit. I know people are looking at the last minute. If you're wondering, how would this compare against Erato? Well, Erato still, if you don't have Erato and you are in need of a HP burn damage dealer, yeah, Erato is still the way to go, because unless we see another HP burn hero coming in, the thing with power creep from a direct damage dealer perspective, right? And this is, advice for long-term as you play this game. One of the things we did notice, right, is when Marie got introduced to the game, we literally see Jingle Bell getting replaced completely across the board. Because as direct damage dealers, when you power creep them, you power creep them. There's literally no way for them to come back. Like there was the one rare time where a boss required direct damage, but you also need to freeze the boss. Well, like you literally have to say freeze the boss because she applies freeze on all of her skills. Like if it's just a control effect, well, Marie also does control effects. So it's much easier to power creep a direct damage hero. It's pretty hard to actually power creep supports or tanks because they play a supporting role and they're a lot more versatile. Like you want them on all of your teams. Like if you look at my advanced arena team, so here I'll just show my defense then. Like there are different ways to mix and mash things up a little bit. You can see I did integrate Agatha into it, but I'm also bringing along like really strong supporting limited heroes to help with that. Like technically I could make the top team a little bit stronger simply by doing something like that, right? And this will still be a very viable, very strong team down here. Or I can do this and I can put like put Esther there too, right? And my bottom team will still look super strong because the power of supports have much more longer sustainable value. So hopefully that kind of convinces you. Maybe Beatrix. Yes, Beatrix is definitely worth pulling at this point in time. It will take you a while to get all the stats, but I feel like Beatrix will stay more relevant. Eritol is really strong. It's a really strong HP burn hero, but the next time they release a really strong HP burn damage hero, it's really hard to make another one, right? Like, if it's not stronger than the Eritol, then people won't want to get it. But if it is stronger than Eritol, then everybody who has Eritol, Eritol will still be strong, but there's also a better one. So that's kind of the difficult when it comes to striking the balance with damage-based heroes. Like we basically have the top damage dealer for every single class already kind of in place, right? We got Eritol for HP burn. We have Marie for direct damage. Chelsea, surprisingly, nobody has surpassed Chelsea for a while. Where's Chelsea? There you go. Like she hasn't been surpassed for a while. Like it's almost worth it for me to take her to 180 at this point. But I'm also really scared because we haven't seen a burn hero that's that strong for a while, right? Bleed. We have Lance, and Lance still hasn't been surpassed yet for bleed heroes, right? When we saw Oliver come in, Oliver is still in very much a supporting role, right? Nikilith is supporting. She has bleed, but it's supporting. Like we saw Reyna get introduced. All of these heroes have bleed tags, but they're all supporting, right? On poison front, what caught me off guard was how Giselle kind of took the top DPS spot, even though she's like a key support. Like the fact that she can be immune to damage because of her echo, like means she won't be power creep for a while. Just like I don't think, like, unless they start introducing things like that completely block your passive or make your passives detrimental to you, like these will be heroes that will last a long time because of the supporting ability they're able to bring, right? So hopefully that was helpful. It kind of covers all the different damage types. I think I covered all of it. Poison, burn. Yeah. Internal injury. Oh, what's really nice is they did not power creep Damu and Indra for it. We still see Damu and Indra at the top of the combo. So I really hope they don't screw us over, because so far they've been just offering more useful supports, but those supports are still usable. The main DPS, they kind of have left them alone. They did buff a lot of the mythic heroes, so they do become a little more relevant. Anyways, I feel like I ranted on long enough in this video, and hopefully, with these showcases, it kind of shows, the state of power creep, what you want to think about in terms of getting your next limited hero. If you have to pick and choose what to get. Hopefully showcase a little bit of Nikilith as well for you in this video. I know I haven't been making content as frequently as I used to, but hopefully you find, this was a good coverage update across the board. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Gandalf out.